Welcome to Interval Drinks
with your tipsy thespian pals, Chris
and SLP.
Lieber Herr, farewell, my lieber Herr. It was a fine affair, but now it's over. And though I used to care, I need the open air. You're better out without me right here. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm really excited about Cabaret. I'm even more excited to announce our appropriate themed cocktail.
Oh, what have we got today?
This is Don't Tell Mama.
Don't Tell Mama.
Oh my Christ.
Look at this.
This
Thank
is
you very much,
wonderful.
barman.
Are you going to drink my cherry? Are you going to take my cherry?
Oh! Pippity poppity.
Drink my cherry?
Pop.
It's a bit hot.
I mean, we have to give this a try.
Yeah,
Come
we
on.
do, don't we?
Oh,
Oh. Oh, no, that's nice.
it is.
I really like that.
I wasn't expecting that. From the colour, I was expecting like really fruity. It's quite savoury. Is that
Yes.
the right word? I don't really know
Well,
what
you
the
can
word
have a
is.
savoury cocktail.
You
I like
can,
a
can't you? I'm gonna
dirty
have one of
martini.
Dirty martini.
I'm going to put that there, SLP, and you're going to eat that a little bit later on. But for now,
Okay.
we're going to be talking about Kendra Nebb's 1966 musical
Cabaret.
literally cleaning up at the 67 Tony Awards.
I know.
Set in 1929, 20s, 30s Berlin.
The twilight of the jazz age.
In the CD Kit Kat Club. The story revolves obviously around Clifford Bradshaw and his relationships or misdemeanors, if you like, with a then English cabaret performer, Sally Bowles.
Sally Bowles.
Played originally in the London production by
Go on.
Dame Judi Dench.
Oh, shut up.
I said I was coming back to Judi Dench. Yeah, so
Wow.
and it was Liza Minnelli that famously changed the role completely in
the
that
film.
68 movie. Totally miscast. Not 68 movies, 72. 1972.
72 film, yeah,
yes. And totally miscast, but still in her own right made that role iconic. She was never intended to be that brashy cabaret performer. She was more a sweet English Rose.
And
I'm
also,
taking nothing away from Liza Minnelli there because she made the role her own, and it was a different
for her,
interpretation, and it works.
It did work.
Can I tell you a little story about my Liza Minnelli experience?
Yes!
Oh my goodness.
Go on.
I love it. So I'd seen that Liza Minnelli was performing, and a lot of my friends know this, so if you've heard this story, just skip along a couple of seconds on the listen. But I'd seen that. I was checking my emails one day, and you get the advert banner across your emails.
Yeah.
And I just got one, and it said Liza at the Palace.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, Liza's performing at the Palace.
What?
So I booked tickets on a whim. I was just like, I'm booking it. I don't care. I'll work out how I get there. Fine. Booked tickets at the Palace, thinking she was performing at the Palace Theatre in London. And then when I got the email back, and I'd spent like 200 quid each on 2 tickets. When I got the email back, it was in dollars. And I was like, why is this in dollars? Why have I got dollar signs next to their thing? And then when I looked into it, she was performing at the Palace Theatre on Broadway. So I booked flights to go see Liza Minnelli on Broadway.
Yes,
And what a show! What a show! I can't begin to tell you. And it's out on DVD. If DVD is still a thing, I'm sure you can stream it either illegally or not.
It's just in your brain now,
But if you watch Liza at the Palace, it was absolutely sensational.
That must be like a once in a lifetime
It was brilliant.
thing.
It blew my mind.
Wow, I can't believe that. I can't believe that you managed to.
So good.
Did the dollars not put you off at all when you were making the payment?
Well, I had to do it. I didn't realise that I'd picked, because I just paid on my card.
Yeah.
And then it was when I got the email receipt, and it was in dollars. And I thought, well, I'm going. I'm going.
I wonder why they're using dollars.
I was a student.
Oh,
I've got no
right,
money.
you didn't mention that.
I've got no money.
Was
but
this
I'm
where
going.
the overdraft went on?
Absolutely.
Right.
That's why I'm forever in, or she's forever in my debt. The recent London revival.
Yes.
Of course, at the Playhouse Theatre, now renamed the Kit Kat Club.
Yes.
Of course, given the size of the venue, they still make it look so authentic and intimate.
Because don't they have so I haven't been, but I obviously know that you've been. Don't they make it quite immersive. Like you have to as soon as you're in the building.
So it's
performance
essentially
starts.
in the round, and it's interesting that you mentioned the word immersive because before you go and see the show, there's almost like a pre-cabaret experience.
What?
So there's singers, dancers, musicians.
How do you go in?
So you walk in through the stage door entrance, or what was the stage door entrance, and it's almost like a Prohibition era speakeasy. So you walk to a little hatch, and they give you a shot of schnapps. So you down a shot of schnapps, and then you walk through, and this immersive crowd with deft choreography and true Fosse style, and the swinging from podiums, and the really enticing the audience. And I was so lucky to have seen Eddie Redmayne as MC.
Oh, I heard brilliant things about him.
He was great. They kind of played it like he was very dark.
Yeah.
But more like
It's a very dark show.
More like a sinister clown with an almost, I don't know how to describe it, like an angular physicality and poise. Everything was done kind of jerky. I'm doing a mime. If you're not watching on the YouTube, I'm doing a mime. I'm doing a bit of robotics. And we were due to see Jessie Buckley.
Yes. Oh, was she off?
She was indisposed.
No.
But I tell you why she was indisposed. She was on her way to LA, having been nominated for Best Actress in a role of the Lost Daughter.
We can excuse her for that.
We can excuse her for that. So we did see her understudy, who was fine.
Yeah.
Fresh in the role. Yeah. So we'd seen her, and it's the first time she'd ever appeared as Sally Bowles.
The
first time she'd ever appeared was her understudy. And
How was she?
I felt like the role wasn't fully embedded yet.
Oh, okay.
She went on to play it successively, but I felt that the night we went to see it, she wasn't fully ready.
No, okay.
And I think that was kind of like a split, quick decision. She's off to LA. We need to get the understudy on. Yeah. And I don't think she was quite ready. But
that's
fair.
Yeah,
it is fair. But I would have killed to have seen Jessie Buckley.
I know.
And I hate to be that guy who gets upset when the understudy, because mad props to the understudies.
Absolutely.
They do a brilliant job.
It's a freaking hard job, and especially
But Jessie Buckley.
Yeah, I know.
She tugs at my heartstrings, and she's come a long way since her.
She has.
I'd Do Anything Lloyd Webber's
that's
beginnings.
what it was. I love that show. In fact, there was one for Joseph, there was one for Oliver, there was one for Sound of Music.
Maria? Yeah. I talked about the Carrie Fisher thing. Where we had a little bit of thing there in another podcast. But I loved this production, and I'll tell you for why. Because although it was totally reimagined, it still had a bit of authenticity. It still felt completely authentic to the original. And I think it's hard. And I'd love a remake of the movie. I would. I think we're ready for that now. But I think it's a hard job for any director / choreographer to get away from that Bob Fosse style.
Iconic, though.
Iconic.
It is iconic.
But how do you recreate Chicago and Cabaret, that reek with Bob Fosse's sort of stylistic approach to things?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, would you want to move away from it? But I suppose there's merit in trying, isn't there? And sort of trying that new angle.
Maybe.
Yes, exactly. Like when we talk about the West Side Story, I suppose they tried to move away a little in the newer film, but still pay homage.
Pay homage to
tip of the hat.
Tip of the hat. And I love also how stylized Kandra and Ebb are as composers.
Yeah.
And they were. I don't know if you know a lot about Kandra and Ebb. But
well, I found out that they're both Jewish composers.
Both Jewish composers, a lyricist and musical composer. But they're very, very different in character.
Oh, right.
So they were matched by their publisher. So they both had the same publisher, Tommy Valdino, Valando, Tom Valando. And they couldn't be more different.
Really?
As people.
So it's a bit like the X Factor, where you just sort of, if you go as a solo act, you actually get paired up with
the One
Direction.
Yeah, like One Direction.
Kandra and Ebb are the One Direction of
musical theatre. What are we talking about? Musicals.
Who are we? What are we doing?
I'm going to have another sip of this. This is absolutely glorious.
I didn't realise until doing a bit of research on this one. So, by the way, I have only ever seen the film. And
the original movie,
desperate. I did have a date when I was going to try and go and see the new one at the Kit Kat Club in London, and I just couldn't afford it at the time, unfortunately. But I'm going to save up and hopefully I'll be able to see it as soon as possible.
As a theatrical experience, it's brilliant.
I would love to give it a try.
Did I love it?
Well,
it was good.
Yeah,
it was great.
Worth a watch.
If I was a critic, a 4-star review.
Okay. That's still pretty good in my book.
Still great.
Pretty good in my
Kiss
book.
the Spider Woman, of course. Chicago. 70 Girls 70. Are you familiar with 70 Girls 70?
I don't know that at all. What's that?
Oh, so that's a Cameron Ebb musical that's set in an old folks' home, and they're trying to stage a musical. You need to have a listen to it. It's a little bit quirky, it's a little bit off the wall, it's well worth a listen. But their most recent collaboration, of course, was Curtains.
Yes, which I am very familiar with.
And that was actually released in 2006, I think, after Fred Ebb had unfortunately passed away in 2004. But I'm so glad that got to be shown. Curtains is a great show, of course. It's kind of like that backstage whodunit farce.
I love that, and I love the whole angle. It's sometimes using Funny Girl as well. We need to do Funny Girl, where you turn around and so you then see like the audience itself. Sometimes mirrors used at the back, so then you can get the perspective of being behind the performer.
Exactly.
And on that sort of
That's
like live
brilliant.
stage.
But if I could choose their greatest collaboration, for me, it would be Cabaret.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just iconic, isn't it?
It's amazing.
So something I didn't realise was because of the almost, it's kind of written as a German folk song, isn't it? Or to sound like that, the tomorrow belongs to me.
Fatherland, show us a sign.
So of course, written as part of this very anti-fascist work, did you know that this song has genuinely been adopted by like alt-right groups and neo-Nazi
far
groups?
right?
Yeah, genuinely has been adopted as a proper anthem, which is just, that makes me feel a bit weird. And it's written by these Jewish composers, as a warning song, if you like, and it's actually been adopted by some neo-Nazi groups as a piece that it feels like, well, you've really missed the point, haven't you?
Well, you have, haven't you?
Really missed the point.
God bless you, as a lot of these fascist groups do.
I know, well, quite. But it's such a, in the film at least, in fact, you can tell me then how it is in the show, but in the film, you have this, and I think it's very, very clever camera work, how it's kind of a sort of picnic afternoon, Sunday afternoon somewhere, everyone's drinking in the park and stuff like that, and this young boy stands up and starts singing in this beautiful, beautiful tenor voice, there's the sun in the meadow, whatever it is, and then the camera pans down and you see, he's in the Hitler Youth. He's in the brown uniform. He's got the thing. He's got the swastika. Yeah. And then everyone's kind of entranced by it a little bit, and they start one by one standing up and joining in.
Well, in the stage show, it's just as dark and sinister as this.
Go on.
But when you've got the whole ensemble singing along, and sometimes a cappella, you're sat and you're thinking,
a cappella voices are so powerful, aren't they? So powerful.
Amazing. If done right. They are. Who are your favourite characters, or who's your favourite character?
Well, so I didn't quite clock as well that how many character changes there were from the stage in the film. And so, of course, Sally Bowles is our mutual one, if you like.
English Rose or American Cabaret star?
Well, I'd love to see the English Rose. Really, I need to see it live. Essentially, I've been catching little clips and stuff, but obviously it's such a sought after thing that there aren't really that many bootlegs that are that hard, that easy to find.
Another thing about
you
the
need
show,
to do a lot of digging.
The show I watched was they played Sally.
Yeah.
Quite brash. She was an English Rose.
Yeah.
But she was brash, and the singing was harsh.
Yeah.
So it was what good is singing. It was angry. It was passionate. I'll give it that. But I think that's from a more kind of directorial point of view.
Well, something I really enjoy thinking about as well is, of course, Sally's not meant to be really good, is she? I think because there's a big thing in cabaret.
It's a backstreet, boozy, Berlin
but also
joint.
But about the whole theme of self-delusion, which I think is all the way through this show, that she thinks that she's like the main thing for the Kit Kat Club, and it's like, actually, you're a bit disposable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not the be-all and end-all that you think you are, Sally, kind of thing, and that kind of adds to the heartbreak.
You're not Cher in Burlesque.
No. Yes, what a good.
You've just got a Bedford chair and a spotlight.
But yeah, and it's just she thinks that she's absolutely the lead in the Kit Kat Club, and it's like, actually you're so.
Yeah.
And it's like, so they use it,
but also ran.
Well, yeah, and I quite like that. So then, hearing of modern productions, we're then letting it be a little bit more rough around the edges, shall we say?
I like that.
That lends itself to that, I think.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think together, if we could collaborate on a project,
Yeah.
we would work brilliantly because we'd come at it at the same angle, but
boop,
different
boop, boop,
from a
boop,
choreographer point of view to
Yeah.
a kind of musical director.
Absolutely.
Why aren't we producing shows?
Interval Drinks presents.
My favourites are Frau Schneider and Herr Schultz.
Who, of course, aren't featured in the film at all.
No.
So tell me.
The most iconic song, and it's you've got to be clever in
Yes.
this. And I think they did this very, very, very well in the stage show. In fact, they were. My favourite scenes were the ones that they were in.
Okay.
Is the song Pineapple for You.
I've heard both of
So
those.
Pineapple for You is very, very tongue-in-cheek. So
Okay.
obviously these two characters who are a little bit older
Yes,
than the
yes,
integral
yes.
characters are wanting
And they're being
to...
drawn
so
together.
the pineapple is a euphemism, of course, for wanting to
Yep.
lie down and have sex with you. But
Yum.
it's got to be tongue-in-cheek. It's the way it's played out. And I think in the recent stage show at the Playhouse, or
Yeah.
the Kit Kat Club as it's now called, they completely got that right. They hit the mark. It was
Wow.
great.
Okay. Gosh. Whereas in the film, they've, in fact, what are the two characters called? They've got, like, it's Natalia and Fritz.
Fritz.
Is that right?
Yes.
And it's, I believe that they kind of fill pretty much the same gap of these two
Of
who
the two.
kind of are being
Yeah,
drawn
yeah,
together
yeah.
who shouldn't really, but it goes down a different storyline. And that one apparently is, there was the book that this was based from, like Goodbye to Berlin, and so then there was another, as well as Cabaret, there was another adaptation came off from that called I Am a Camera, and it's from that.
This is right, yeah. I remember reading about this.
That's from when the narrative for these particular two were then used in the film. I don't really know why they changed it so much for screen. I don't really know why, but I don't know, it seems to work, but I would be very interested to do a direct comparison, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we've talked a lot about the MC.
No, we haven't
So
mentioned him yet.
How would you play the MC?
Oh,
Does
God.
he bring light relief, or is he... Because there are two angles to looking at it. I
There
always
are.
think about this
Yeah.
with the MC, and a lot of characters in musical theatre, but particularly the MC, since we're talking about cabaret.
Yeah.
There are two ways to look at it.
Yeah.
So he brings a little bit of light relief to the proceedings as
Yes.
a showman,
Yes.
or he is deeply and darkly sinister to the point where you feel a little bit, whoa.
Do they have to be mutually exclusive? Can we not have bits of both?
Elements of both?
Because you know what I feel the MC represents? I feel that MC represents when a situation's getting uncomfortable, to turn the other way, and to make light of something even when you really shouldn't be making light of it.
Do you know what I'd like to see?
Go on.
I'd like to see the MC on a journey. So he starts as a showman.
Yeah.
Welcome and bienvenue, welcome. And he's a little bit flirty,
Yeah.
he's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. As the song and the plots move forwards,
Yeah.
he gets darker and darker and darker.
Oh, wow.
And more sinister.
Yes.
To the point where, whoosh, I don't know if you saw the recent tour with Will Young, but when Will
heard of-
Young,
Yeah.
at the end,
Yeah.
he strips off and he stands stark bollock naked on the stage, and the lights are just on him, and
Wow.
he's there,
So vulnerable.
and the ensemble are taken off to the gas chamber. And he's just left, stood. I'm doing a mime.
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
just left, stood in full spotlight, stark bollock naked.
Wow. Wow.
Food for thought. I've been
Well-
to the Kit Kat Club
Yeah.
in Berlin.
In Berlin?
Yes,
What, the actual
the
one?
actual one.
Right.
It wasn't what I thought it was.
What did you think it was?
So I'd seen this thing. We'd had, you know, when you check into the hotel and you
Yeah.
get a map of the city.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I've been to Berlin maybe 3 or 4 times. A great city to visit.
Mm-hmm.
But on one of the adverts was the Kit Kat Club, and it was a Monday night. And I thought, oh, it's a Monday. It won't be that
Monday.
busy. So he walks into the Kit Kat Club,
Right.
and
What are you going to tell me,
so first
Chris?
of all, I went with Sam and I, and we were stood there, and we were the only people in the bar. And it was
Oh.
like 11 o'clock, midnight.
Oh.
So I turned to the person serving behind the bar, and I just said, hi, we're here for the Kit Kat Club.
Yeah.
We're in
Are we in the
Kit
right
Kat Club.
place?
Are we in the right place? They said, oh, yes. Things don't get started in here until about 5 a.m.
What?
So I was like, oh, right.
5?
So it's this 24-hour
Jesus.
techno dance culture.
Whoa.
But then as it transpired, the night panned out, I was actually in a sex club.
Chris,
I was
no,
in a
you weren't.
swingers, but a straight swingers club.
Are you joking?
And we stayed, and I got really drunk, and I was like, each to their own, but I'd open
You had
the
a brilliant
door, and there'd be
time.
like an orgy going on there, and something else happening there. And it was all a little bit like weird for me. So I did what I do best, SLP. I got absolutely shit-faced.
Oh, that doesn't sound like
But
you
then
at all.
the DJ come on, and of course they're really into their heavy techno music in Germany. So we went to the dance floor, and the dance floor started. We were having a little bit of a boogie, and then the next thing, an alarm goes off.
An alarm?
And I thought, what's going on here? And the next thing, the dance floor moves, and it's a swimming pool underneath.
What?
So everybody just gets into the swimming pool and has a little bit of a rave, and then you just get out and dry yourself, and then lay on the sun lounges. Then you get back in the pool for a little bit of a rave and a bit of a dance. By this point,
bonkers.
I'm 3 litres of vodka down. I'm absolutely loving life.
Yeah.
But
Christ,
what
I'm
an
surprised you can
experience.
remember it.
What an experience.
Jesus. But not quite what you were expecting.
The next time we went to Berlin, I said, it was a Saturday, this one, and I said, there was nowhere open, well, there were places open, but we'd been for a few drinks, and we said, shall we just go to the Kit Kat Club? Because we had such fun.
Yeah.
Such fun. I'm not prude, but we'd had such fun. And we queued for ages, and we got to the door, and the bouncer at the door of the Kit Kat Club had said, you can't come in tonight. And I said, why? And he said, it's a fetish night, and you're not in costume, you're not dressed. Oh, and we were just in I was in black jeans and a black t-shirt. And I was like,
what was it? What was the costume?
Just kind of, they were all in the queue in like crotchless panties and like best stockings, whatever.
Jesus.
And I thought, I'm kind of glad that not that I'm a prude, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't get into that.
You didn't pack your crotchless thong
No,
for that night?
I should have done.
Shit.
Ryanair, hand luggage only.
Oh God, not what you expected, really.
That's not what I came in for, dear.
Well, I definitely need to put that on my list to go and visit.
No.
Definitely. Yes, yes, I will.
No,
I will.
Eye-opening, yes. Would I go again? Definitely yes.
Definitely yes. Interval drinks excursion, shall we?
But the lovely thing about the remake or the new show Revival, of course. I've had drinks.
Yeah.
At the Playhouse / Kit Kat Club. Is if you pay top dollar, you can sit stage edge. And they have like little bentwood seats and tables with little telephones on as if it were the Kit Kat Club, and bring food to your table with like waiter service throughout.
Oh, I like that.
Which doesn't take anything away from the action as a viewer.
No.
And we booked, and I was on the, I was queuing for tickets for ages because as soon as they were released, I wanted a ticket. So I was on the website, and it was like literally, you are 174th in a queue, and I managed to get a ticket. For 90 quid, which I didn't think was bad.
No, okay.
3 of us went, so I paid for it, and then obviously got refunded. But they were the cheapest seats, and I tell you what, we had a brilliant view.
Did you?
We had a great view.
Good.
A great view of the stage because it's so immersive. Because
you want to see everything,
They've restored the whole building as part of this whole regeneration.
Wow.
So you're not kind of end-on proscenium with like an auditorium going up. You're involved in the whole thing.
Okay.
And so I think the producers then must think that this is going to stand the test of time. It's going to last this long because I think they've invested a lot of money in it. Hence why I think now the ticket prices are so
and you can
so expensive.
Kind of understand it if you put your business head on. I hope that I don't want theatre to get too like elitist because of the price again. I am worried that it's heading that way. But on the other hand, like you said in one of our earlier episodes, it's just you can see where the money's going, essentially, can't you? And so you can see, and we're all in that sort of time.
Unless you wanted to see Streetcar Named Desire.
Well, yes, indeed. We're downstairs. We're at Vox Karaoke Bar, the premier karaoke bar in Hull. Cabaret is your option. What's your number?
The title track. What good is sitting alone in your room? Don't Tell Mama.
Don't Tell Mama. Oh, okay.
Or
Oh.
Two Ladies.
Oh, I would so do Two Ladies with You.
Two ladies. Two ladies.
We should definitely do that.
We should definitely explore
We should
that
definitely do that.
What do you think about the, because in the original film,
Yeah.
obviously you've got money makes the world go round, the
Yes,
world
they
go round.
changed that
And in
one,
the stage
don't
show,
they?
it's still called Money, but it's a different song. My father needs money, my brother needs money, my cousin is thin as a reed. Sitting Pretty, it's called, rather. But in the revival, it's they'd sing Money Makes the World Go Round.
Money makes the world go round. I like that version, but why do we do both? Let's do both. For our karaoke audience.
Again, just like we did with the Munga Jerry and Rumple teaser.
Oh, yeah.
Let's put a vote out there. Let's play both songs and you can all vote which is your favourite.
Perfect. That sounds really good.
Have you got anything else you need to add?
I really want to go and properly see this. So if anyone wants to buy me a ticket, hit me up.
Do you know what? I'd go again.
Shall we go?
I'd go again.
Let's do it.
I'd go again. I was saying this to you, wasn't I, before, about we've actually never been to the theatre just together.
We haven't. We've met each other at performances many times, but we've never gone
to the
together.
theatre together. We've never made a thing of going to a trip. And wouldn't that be great? Interval drink socials.
So good. Yeah. Shall we do it?
I'm so overdue a London visit.
Oh, should we do it?
Let's make Cabaret one of the shows.
Let's do it.
Why not?
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Don't tell Mama.
Bye.